This video is about how we need to start thinking about how we write our code actually. It's something we call well-formedness, so making the code look pretty also. It's actually an important part of it, and writing it correctly. So I just opened my Visual Studio Code. I'm just quickly going to open or create a new page, so from scratch in this case. I have nothing here. I'm just going to open a folder and I'm going to navigate to my where I already created some pre-existing folders, so navigating, sorry. And as you can see here, I already created folders for each week, really up to you, as I said before. Right now I'm going to create or use folders for week 38. So I'm going to click open, and now it opens this folder, as you can see now. Here we go. And now I want to create a new file in this. So new file, I'm gonna call this, change this from plain text to an HTML. I'm going to save it as index.html. And I'm also quickly going to create my CSS file. So new file, I'm gonna rename it CSS. And I'm going to save. And I really want you to, if we look at it like this, no, it doesn't want to do that. But remember to create a folder called CSS to put this in. So you have your index file and a folder called CSS, and inside this CSS folder you put your style.css. And they're both blank. So now we're ready to do this. Well-formedness basically means that we are writing our code so it's easier for others to read and the search engines to read and basically computers to read. I'm going to use Emmet to create this, and I have this, and actually some of you I've seen on your computer, you have extra lines like this, like meta, name, viewport, device with initial scales. You can just leave them in for now. Basically this does it if you're on a mobile phone, for example. If a image is only filling out about 20-25% on a desktop, when you use a mobile page it will fill out the entirety of the phone instead. So it's basically setting the zoom so the content fits better with whatever screen is using it. So don't worry about those. But well-formedness basically is when you're inside your body element here, and you start typing in, I want my header section here, I want my, what do you want? We want our main, we want our footer, and so on and so on. And I'm gonna do this. So instead of just typing in, now I want a, let's just go straight into a section part. So now I want to create a section. I actually done that right now. So I have my main, which is the parent, and I have my section which is the child here. But well-formedness is not only about writing it correctly, it's also about indenting. Because my body is the topmost parent. That means I would really like for you to start indenting all the things that are, the child of this. So you can mark things and you click your tabulator once, so just once, so it moves everything in. All the things you marked here. Same goes when you put things, for example in here, I take my main, I put two sections, I put a open section element and I put a closed section element. I really want you to move that in, so it starts looking like this. Visual Studio, whatever IDE you use, usually helps you with this. If you copy something, for example, from a Word document, it puts in a lot of extra indents and it can start becoming really hard to track. But looking like this, H1, text, paragraph, text more, and so on. So it's easier for you to spot where things open and close. It's not something that is needed. Well, it's needed of course, but it's not that you can you can not do this, but it's frowned upon. That's what I want to say. Another part of well-formedness is remember to pretty much always use lowercase letters. So you can see none of mine have capital letters. Don't use a capital S here, or for example, or a capital letters all the way through. Section. So don't use this. Again, this is not the standard that everyone uses. Everyone uses lower casing, and this again, it's case sensitive, which means HTML is only a little case sensitive. But once you start getting into programming, it will become case sensitive. So if you write a capital letter or a lower capital, it will actually see it as two different elements. So remember to use lower capitals always, pretty much. Also when you're naming files. So you can see my index, the I here, is a smaller or lower capital. And the same with styles, it's not capital S. So remember to have this in mind when creating all these files.